What's happening there, Liverpool fans? Back again with another video to talk about the brilliant victory we had over Man City. Yeah, so on Sunday, the 10th of November, we played Man City at Anfield, and what a game! I mean, it just showed what Liverpool have become now. Liverpool have become, the best team in the country, probably the best team in European football, or even world football. As for the clubs in club football, I'm talking about. And yeah, we absolutely took it to Man City. We weren't scared of them. We weren't frightened to attack them, and we did it. And we scored 3 times against them. Now, I've been looking at all the analysis videos and all these articles and all these programs that they've made talking about the game, and about 70% has been about the bloody VAR decision. That's only one instance in the match, only one part of the match, man. Why don't you talk about the actual game that we played? Why are you talking about the VAR incident? Because it was a turning point, they say. How do you know it was a turning point? It was in the first 5 minutes of the bloody game. We don't know what's going to happen for the remaining 85 minutes. I still reckon Liverpool would have won the game because we had the hunger, we had the desire, we had the passion to go on and win that game. You could tell from the first minutes, man. Liverpool took a 2-0 lead in about the 15th minute of the game. So to keep talking about the VAR decision as if that's the only thing that happened in the game is ridiculous because the media, all they do is they big up Manchester City, the mainstream media, because of the money that they have now, the club Manchester City. All they do is try to suck up to them, try to big them up, try to make them the biggest team in the league, the biggest team in European football when they haven't won anything in European football. You talk about big teams. Liverpool are the big team. Liverpool are the ones who have won the European Cup, man. Not Manchester City. Manchester City have won their own league, the Premier League, but that doesn't mean that they're the best team in the world. Come on. You're talking rubbish. And yeah, so Liverpool went out and absolutely battered City. I mean, after the match, I heard Guardiola say that he thought that he's proud of his team. They played a brilliant game. I'm sorry, Pep Guardiola, but it looks like you lost your mind during that game because if you sit there and say that City played a great game, then you're either delusional or you're in some kind of delirium or something because City didn't play well. Come on, they had the ball, they controlled certain parts of the game, but they didn't create many chances. If you go back and look at the 90 minutes, they didn't create many, clear cut opportunities to score, and it took them until the 78th minute to get a goal back. So, and that was only because Liverpool became a bit complacent after 3-0. Because if we had pushed down on the accelerator, we probably would have scored more. Probably got a fourth or a fifth against City. But anyway, it is what it is, and I'm fed up with it, man. I mean, the mainstream media in this country it's a laughing stock. Sky Sports, BT Sport, all the other channels, Match of the Day. All they do is just big up City for no reason. Just come out and say that they were beaten by the better team. Liverpool were the better team. Liverpool have been better than City since last season. Even the title, we should have won the title. City were fortunate to win it in the end. But you don't see anybody saying this, man. All you hear is, oh, they had an outstanding run. They went on a 15-game winning streak, 14-game winning streak. Yeah, so did Liverpool. But we drew a few. We drew a few games. That's it. That's the only reason that City actually went on to win the title. And we won the European Cup in June. We beat Tottenham 2-0 in Madrid to win the European Cup. But you don't hear people speak about this, man, on television or in the articles. It's just ridiculous. The bias towards Manchester City is there for everybody to see. It's the money, man. Money speaks in business, in football, in politics, in everyday life. And it's the same with the Premier League. All we keep hearing is Man City this, Man City that. Are they going to be able to catch Liverpool? Are they going to come from behind again? Give some credit to Liverpool, man. Liverpool deserve to be at the top of the league. We've deserved to be there from last season. This team has only lost once in about 50 matches in the Premier League. And you're still talking about Manchester City, a team that has lost 7 times from last season. 7 times, and they haven't done anything in European football. They haven't achieved anything for the past 4 or 5 years since Guardiola's been in. 4 years, whatever it is. So you need to be objective. You need to speak the truth. You need to tell people the facts. You need to tell people the what's happening on the pitch, basically, not just something that you've made up in your minds, and you just want to propaganda Man City, trying to brainwash people as if they're the best thing that has ever happened to the league. They're not, man. They're beatable, and Liverpool exposed them despite playing. We played at about 70%. We didn't even play at 100%, and we still beat them. We played at about 70% Liverpool Football Club, and we still beat them, easily in the end. And yeah, it's brilliant to see Jurgen Klopp, the team that he's created, the football that we play, the way that we can change our system, change our tactics for the game, during the game even, not from one game to another, but during the game, we're able to adapt now. We're able to play in a different, in a different way if we need to. We're not the team of 3 years ago when we just played, attacking football, flying football, and then we would get tired after about 50 minutes. And that was the time when we needed to game management, to hold on to the game, but we weren't able to do it. But now Liverpool are a completely different team, a completely different setup, wherein, they can take the lead and they can hold on to it now. They can control the ball, they can play it around, they can add to their leads. They don't just sit back and score one and just, think that's it, the game is done. I'm very happy to see this, because in the first years of Klopp's tenure as Liverpool manager, he wasn't able to do this. He wasn't able to switch systems, switch tactics during the game, and allow Liverpool to go on to actually win a game, rather than panicking until the final seconds of the game. We'd be under pressure, we'd concede goals. Even if we were something like 3-0 up, it would go back to 3-2. Or, for instance, the Norwich game in his first season, we were winning the game 1-0. We fell 3-1 behind, got it back to 4-3 ahead, and you're thinking, that's it, that's the job done in the 90th minute. And because of our dodgy defence and our lack of game management, we allowed them to equalise in the 92nd minute. And it was just ridiculous. I mean, it was like a friendly match of some kind. People scoring all over the place. There was no defending, there was no game management, there was no clever tactics to see out the game, and it was just all over the place. Madness personified. And we actually won the game in the final seconds, in the 95th minute. But you have to think to yourself, if Lallana didn't score that goal, what would have happened? Because in that season, we lost so many points in the same way. Going on from that season into the 16-17 season, it was the same again. We would attack teams, take the lead, and then we couldn't hold on to win it in the end. We'd be pegged back, or we would eventually lose the game because of our bad defending, because of our shitty goalkeepers. Basically, we didn't have good enough goalkeepers in the nets. So yeah. So the last 2.5 years, Liverpool have really excelled. Liverpool have become a top team in the world of football, let alone in England. And we deserve to be at the top of the league. There's no doubt about it. But when you listen to the media, to the football pundits and this and that, it's as if somebody's just put Liverpool at the top and they haven't deserved to get there. It's just Liverpool are just there somehow, and City are the main team all the time. That's all they talk about. City have lost 7 times, man. As I said, from last season coming into this season, they've lost 7 games. Liverpool have only lost 1, and that was in January against Man City at the Etihad. And we got our revenge on Sunday. We battered them 3-1 at Anfield. So give this team respect, man. Give this manager respect, Say that this team deserves to be where they are. Stop making excuses. VAR and refereeing decisions and this and that. We know that everybody just runs after the money. That all they think about is the money. But you have to be objective, man. I don't like this anymore in modern football. The way that they just talk about certain teams because they have money, they have wealth. That's it. The other teams don't matter anymore. They don't. They shouldn't even be where they are. They don't deserve to be at the top of the league. This kind of thinking, mad way of thinking, And Anyway, we won the game, Liverpool fans. We're very happy, but now we're in the international football break until the 23rd of November, where we play Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. So we have to be careful. We're 8 points ahead of second placed Leicester and third placed Chelsea, and 9 ahead of City. But there's still a long way to go. We can't be too arrogant. We can't be too giddy that we're at the top of the league. We need to keep carrying on, keep winning games, keep picking up points as many as we can, because the next month is going to be like a madness. December, Liverpool will have to play so many games in a short amount of time. We won't even have a rest from one game to the other. We'll probably have like 2 days, 2.5 days or something to have a rest, and then we have to get up for another game. So the squad will have to come into play now. The squad players will have to be used in certain games, because Liverpool can't keep using the same players for 90 minutes in every single game. Not only will it be tiring, but there's a risk of, God forbid, there's a risk of injury to players, because the more they play, the more tired they become, and the more likely they are to pick up injuries, niggles. So we need to be careful with how we use the squad. And apart from that, it's looking very good for Liverpool to go on and win the league. I mean, if not this season, then when? For the love of God, when are we going to win it? We have to win it, man. We said the same thing last season, but last season was different, because after the game at the Etihad, which we lost, we knew that City would always be there until the end, and there was a possibility that they would overtake us in the end to win the title, and that's exactly what happened. We had a couple of draws, 3 or 4 draws, and they were the games that hampered us, stopped us from winning the league, basically. But this season, I don't see any way of any team stopping Liverpool. It's down to us. We need to be focused. We need to be concentrated, and Klopp needs to get it into their heads that we haven't won anything yet. Keep going until next year, until March, until April. And then we can start celebrating. Then we can start saying, we're definitely going to win it. We're at the top of the league. We can't start it now, because teams tend to get complacent. They tend to get too arrogant. They think that they've won the trophy before actually doing it. So we've lived through these experiences with Liverpool. Liverpool fans know that Liverpool have thrown it away in certain seasons, before. So we can't afford to do that again. We have to be careful. We have to, as I said before, we have to use the squad properly. Jurgen Klopp, please don't keep putting Henderson, Wijnaldum and Milner into the team. Use Keita, use Shaqiri, use Lallana in some games to see out the game, to have a different dynamic, a different system of playing, to liven up the team, basically. Use Divock Origi in certain games, because they can all play their part. It's just you have to be clever as a manager. You have to know when to put them into the team, for what game, for what match, and then you'll see Liverpool winning those games. The games that we drew last season, we've only got one draw this season against Man United, and even that we should have won. We were 1-0 down, got it back to 1-1 in the last 5 minutes at Old Trafford, and Oxlade-Chamberlain had a shot right at the end where he scrapes the post. If that hits the post and goes in, Liverpool win the game. So we would have had 13 out of 13. 13 wins out of 13 matches. Only one draw in that whole run of 13 games. So it's still brilliant. I mean, I never expected in my wildest dreams that Liverpool would become this kind of consistent team. I knew that we would progress, we would become better slowly, gradually, over a certain amount of years, but I never thought that we could go like an entire season and only lose one game like last season, and to become such a consistent, such a pragmatic, such an organised team that we've become now. We don't just rely on a fast tempo attacking football. We can do all sorts. We can defend, we can control the game in midfield, we can hit teams on the counter attack, we can do many things in a certain game. So this is all down to Klopp and his management, his staff, really, because they've completely and utterly changed Liverpool for the better. in 4 years, and I've been moaning in some seasons about Klopp and the way that he lost his points. But if you go back maybe 5, 10 seasons, then Liverpool were just like a yo-yo team. We would just be up and down, winning games and then losing games, drawing games. We'd be all over the place. And like we had average finishes of about 7th or 8th in some seasons, 6th or 5th. We never even got into the top 4 because we couldn't go on a good run basically of about 10 wins, 9 or 10 wins in a row. Apart from the 13-14 season where we nearly won the title, we went on some mad run in the second half of the season, winning about 10 or 11 games on the bounce. And even then, we weren't able to control our destiny. Our destiny was in our own hands. We had the title in our hands, but we threw it away because we weren't able to control the game against Chelsea. We weren't able to get over the line against Crystal Palace. And instead of picking up 6 points or 4 points, we picked up 1 point out of 2 games. And that allowed City to get back into it, and they overtook us. They won it with a 2-point gap in the end. So anyway, this time Liverpool Football Club, the last 2 years, as I said, we've become like a machine. We've become like a consistent machine, that doesn't make any errors, any faults in the team. So, we have to make sure that we win it this time, man. We have to do it. I mean, the European Cup is very important for us, the Champions League, but the main priority, the main emphasis has to be on the league, winning the league title, because it's been too long, man. 30 years. A club like Liverpool cannot go 30 years without a title. It's ridiculous, When you actually sit down and you look at the records and you look at all the success that we've had in the past, to see that we haven't won the league title in 30 years is really depressing. It's really terrible for Liverpool fans, and we need to do it. I mean, such a magnificent start to the season cannot now, go bad for Liverpool, basically. God forbid. We cannot start dropping points from now on. We have to carry on until about March, as I said before, until the end of March. If we can do that, then we win it. There's nobody that can catch us. You say Chelsea and Leicester, yeah, they're doing well now, but there's going to be, periods in the season where they drop points. They can't have the consistency that Liverpool have or City have. I don't see it happening. They're two good teams. They are very good teams, and I'm not belittling them whatsoever. They will be there or thereabouts, but the main contender is Manchester City still, because they have maybe 3 or 4 players that will come back into the team after the new year, or even before the new year, probably in the month of December. They've got Laporte, they've got Sane, they've got Mendy to come back into the team. They still got very good players, and David Silva. And it falls down to Liverpool to keep on pushing, to keep on winning those games. The teams that we should be beating, we have to beat them this season. Last season, we dropped points to teams like West Ham, Leicester, Everton, Man United. That's a big team, although they're very bad at the moment. Going to Old Trafford has never been easy for any team in the league. No matter what position United are in, they always turn up at Old Trafford. They can always put in a good performance. The same as Liverpool. Before in the past, when we used to play Man United or Arsenal or Chelsea at Anfield, we weren't fighting for the title, but we would always put on a good show against these teams at Anfield, and we would upset them. We would beat them. So the same is true with Liverpool. We have to now. We're a team that is being hunted down. We're a team that is going to be attacked now from every corner, because we're at the top. We're at the pinnacle of English football. We're probably at the top of European football. We are the European champions. So everybody wants to beat Liverpool. Everybody wants to perform and play a good game against Liverpool. So we have to be aware of that, and we have to become even more ruthless, even more clinical to finish teams off, And it was a very good performance from Liverpool. I mean, prior to the Man City game, we hadn't actually played that well in some league games, and we were scraping victories. 2-1, 1-0 against Sheffield United, 2-1 against Villa, and 2-1 against Leicester and Tottenham. Although they were tough games, we should have won them probably easier at Anfield, and we made our job, quite difficult with the way we became complacent in those games, and we allowed Leicester and Tottenham to get back into the game. So anyway, it's down to us. It's down to the manager Klopp to keep giving them that drive, that energy to go on and win the league. And happy days for Liverpool fans. We're ecstatic. We're on top of the world. Because as I said before, when Klopp was appointed manager, I never envisaged Liverpool becoming such a consistent team, such a team that keeps winning all the time. Doesn't even drop points. And I thought that we would become a good attacking team, which we became, and able to score goals, able to play good football. But I never thought that we could be consistent, and keep winning games all the time. But now we're like a machine. We are a well-oiled machine that just doesn't stop, just keeps crushing whatever comes in front of us. We put them to the sword. We finish them off, So hopefully it carries on, Liverpool fans. And the international break, we've still got another 9-10 days to go. So God give us, patience to wait for the game. Anyway, we have to wait for the bloody England matches and the other internationals that are going on around the world. Hopefully, I pray to God. Hopefully, none of our players get injuries. That is a very big concern because we have quite a few players in international teams around the world. So we have to pray to God that nothing happens to these players, and we can carry on where we left off. On the 23rd. It is going to be a tough game though. Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park has always been tough, in the past, and we've had some bad memories there. We've had some good victories, but we've also had some very bad results there that have stopped us. For instance, the 13-14 season, we lost the league there. We actually lost the league the previous game to Chelsea at Anfield, but that game, if we'd won, we would have had a chance to keep at the top until the final week of the season. But we ended up drawing that game. We conceded 3 goals in about 12 minutes. We were so comfortable. We were 3-0 up, cruising, looking like guaranteed to get the 3 points. And then all of a sudden, Palace get one back, and then that albino Dwight Gale comes into the team, and he scores 2 quick-fire goals against Liverpool. And we completely and utterly just collapsed and threw the game away. But I think by then the players had realised that they weren't going to win the title, so there was a bit of nervousness, a bit of they were resigned to their fate basically, Liverpool, because we'd dropped the points to Chelsea one game before, and we knew that it was going to be very tough to hope for City to lose points, and they didn't lose points in their final 4 games, and they won it by 2 points. So this time, Liverpool fans, as I said before, we need to be focused. We need to stay hungry, stay, energetic, stay driven for the games, be passionate about every game, want to win every game. But I think Jurgen Klopp has instilled that in Liverpool because we never used to be like that before. Even when Gerrard was here, Gerrard was the driving force. Gerrard was the captain, the leader of the team. He would push the team on to try and get the result. But even when he was playing at Liverpool, we never were that consistent. We went on good runs, but then we fell away. We'd start to draw games or start to lose games, and eventually just fall away and finish 4th or 5th or 6th or whatever. So I haven't seen Liverpool like this for probably since the 2008-2009 season, or even before that. Probably 15-20 years before was the last time that Liverpool were this kind of team, to perform to the high level and to win games. Even when they don't perform, we're still winning games, we're still grinding out the results. And we were never able to do that in previous seasons. But this Liverpool team is just like a new, a newly designed team, a new air about the team, a different feeling about the team, different atmosphere, a different belief in the fans, in the whole club, the whole city, that Liverpool have become a juggernaut of football, a massive team again, one of the elite teams in the world of football. And we have to keep proving that week in, week out. We need to keep on for a couple of more years. There's no point in winning the European Cup, coming second, and then you don't do anything in the following seasons. We have to keep on winning. We won the European Super Cup. We've got the FIFA Club World Cup. I want Liverpool to win that. I want Liverpool to progress in the League Cup to get to the semi-finals. You know, beating Villa, even if we don't have our strongest team. Even the youngsters, they're there to win the game. They should have the energy. They should have the belief, the passion to win that game against Villa. And that's it, Liverpool fans. Thank you again for watching my latest video on the review of the Manchester City victory we had on Sunday, 3-1. And we wait until the 23rd of November. There's nothing else that we can do, really. And hope that none of our players pick up any injuries, God forbid. So that's about it, yeah. Thanks again for watching the video. Please hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel, Only One Liverpool. It will be very much appreciated from all Liverpool fans around the world. Make your comments under the in the comment section of the video or videos. You can watch the other videos that I've made previously. And I had another channel before, Ahmet Gosa. If you type that in YouTube, it will take you to the channel. You can see like a picture of Klopp holding the European Cup. Click on that, and that's my channel. And you can watch. There's like probably 65, 70 videos on there, from spanning back to about 2018, January 2018 until now. So about 2 years worth of videos on that channel that you can take a look. You can watch, make comments, whatever you like. It will be very much appreciated. So that's it, Liverpool fans. Thank you again for watching the video. Be confident. Believe in the team. We are a very good team. Don't listen to the mainstream media, because all they do is try to, make out as if Liverpool have been fortunate. They've been lucky to be where they are, which is nowhere near the truth. They can't handle it. Because their beloved Manchester City is not at the top anymore. They're starting to make excuses. They started to, to cry about the situation. Of course, it was a very contentious decision, the Trent Alexander penalty appeal, but the point of the actual incident shows that Bernardo Silva handled the ball before it hits Trent Alexander-Arnold. And I've seen people, pundits that were previously footballers, referees, saying that it doesn't mean anything because Trent handled the ball. It does mean something, man, because it was a deflection. If it doesn't hit the player on the arm, the Man City player, then it probably doesn't hit Trent on his arm, does it? The ball would probably go to some other angle, and the situation wouldn't have even occurred where Trent, the ball hits his hand. So it does make a big difference. I don't understand why you don't put emphasis on the fact that it hit the Man City player first on the hand, and then it hit Trent on the hand. So anyway, you know what the media are like. We as Liverpool fans know what they're like. That they only see what they want to see. They only talk about what they feel is relevant, that meets their agenda. And it's the same in politics. We see the same things happening in Parliament or on the news or in politics in general. They only speak about the issues. They only speak about the points of view that they need to talk about. They don't talk about the general goings on in society, in the world. And it's all biased. It's all rubbish at the end of the day. So anyway, Liverpool fans, not to keep you too long, thank you again for watching the video. I don't know how many times I've said that now. And see you back on to probably preview the Crystal Palace game before we play on the 23rd of November. Hopefully I can do a video maybe next week, some couple of days before the game, and we assess the situation. We see which players have come back fit, which players are ready to play in the team again. And of course, we will talk about the game. We will preview the game, the Crystal Palace game. So thank you again, and take care of yourselves. Have a good break, until the 23rd of November. Bye-bye.